Hi guys, welcome to the instructions for your genetically drifting worms activity. The first thing you're going to notice about my sheet is that I have divided it up into several rows. Each of these worms is going to represent a population, and you're going to notice that the first thing I've done is colored the worms in the parent column different colors. 5 different colors for this row. Then 5 different colors for the next population, 5 different colors for each population, a row of populations that come after. You need to also make sure that you have the website open for the genetically drifting worms because you need the little 5-sided die to be able to roll. So the way that you do this is you go ahead to the genetically drifting worms website and you're going to click on the die, and the first time you click on it, it's going to give you a number. That number represents which worm is going to reproduce. So for example, I know you can't see it here, but I just clicked on the die that's on that website and it came up as a 2. That tells you which worm in your population is going to reproduce. Now I'm going to click on it again. This time it came up with a 3. And what that tells me is that worm number 2 produces 3 babies. So I'm going to go ahead and make a note, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on it again, and it came up as a 4. This time it came up as worm number 4, and now I'm going to click again to see how many babies this is going to produce, and it clicks a 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you only really want to do this until you reach 5 babies total. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take the first worm that reproduced, and in my case it reproduced 3, and you're going to color the next generation according to the worms and how many they reproduced. So in this case I've got 3 worms that produced, this second worm produced 3 babies, and then the next one is going to also reproduce. This one reproduced 2, but notice there's only 5 slots for 5, so that third one, unfortunately, I don't know, starves to death, gets eaten, something. The carrying capacity is only 5 worms, and so for the next one I'm going to color it until it reaches the number of babies. If when I rolled for the second worm to find out which one's going to reproduce, it came back to this one, and then I rolled again, let's 3 for example, then all of these would come out to be yellow. Okay? Then what you're going to do, once you have your 5 babies accounted for, you're going to go ahead and do the same thing. You're going to go back to the website, roll, in this case number 1. Okay? Now worm number 1 is going to reproduce. I go ahead and I roll again, and this one produces 4 babies. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to roll again. This time it's worm number 2. Well, worm number 2 is yellow anyway, which means any subsequent babies that would come out are going to be yellow. And in this case, we say that our population is fixed. Once all the worms in your population are the same color, you can go ahead and stop because your population has been fixed. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to repeat the same thing, the same process for 1, 2, 3, 4 more populations, and each time rolling to find out which worm is going to reproduce and how many babies it's going to reproduce, keeping in mind that the carrying capacity of your population is 5, so only the first 5 babies that come out are the ones that are going to be survived, or are going to survive.